Good morning. Welcome to the Arthritis Exercise for today. We are working on legs, so you don't need to have any extra tools or I would assume maybe a chair if you need it, because we will be standing up and we will be sitting down. We'll be working quadriceps from the seat, but we will also be working the quadriceps standing position. So you might want to have a chair. We can start out seated and then we'll go into standing position. So welcome to the class today. I'm Kathy with a C, a Taylor, coming to you from Three Rivers, Michigan. Let me start the music. Alrighty, start from a seated position. Make sure you have your lip gloss, water, and a fan if necessary, because we might get warm. Okay. Is it Monday again? Alrighty, let's turn the head side to side, stopping in the center. Ears to the shoulders. Now, if you haven't tuned in yet at 11 o'clock, I have an atomic clock that I'm watching today to make sure that I start on time and finish on time. And that clock says 11:01 today. Okay, make a change, feet in front of the knees, tap the toes, piano with the fingers. I have noticed that not one of my clocks in my house is the same as the other. Bring the feet back, tap the heels. Touch the tips of the fingers to the thumbs. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Make a change. Bring the feet forward, scrunch the toes and release. We're going to do cat scratch with the fingers. Now, don't really get into this really aggressively. We don't want to hurt. We just want to move the joints. And rest. We're going to do a foot slide. Fist, thumb in and thumb out. Keep your core nice and tight. Abdominals are tight. So make sure you have water, something for your lips, a fan. and stop. Breathe. Feet in front of the knees. Remember, you're on the edge of your seat. Always. Okay, let's alternate the arms, swinging them forward and back. Palms are down. I want to see you breathe. Okay, make a change. Arms down at the side. We're going to bring them up and down. You can tap your toes if you'd like, that's fine. And bring it down. Rest. We're going to start with the leg that's on this side. We're going to lift it up off the floor and hinge at the hip, out to the side and back. Please breathe. And then bring it back to center, other side. And remember, you're sitting on the edge of your seat so that you can use your hips. And bring it back to center and rest. Let's do prayer position with the arms. Make sure you're breathing, and throughout the class, unless I tell you to relax your neck area and drop your head forward, make sure your head stays above your heart. And rest. Let's do a heel dig. Thumb circles. And reverse. And remember, your thumbs are attached to your fingers. It may look like I'm using my wrist, but I'm actually wanting to just use my thumb joint, okay? And stop. Breathe. Let's bring the fingers to the shoulders, elbows up, back and down. So ideally with an arthritis exercise class, you want to work as many joints and muscle groups as you can. So we're warming up in a seated position. And we're going to try and use as many joints and muscle groups today as we can. But we are highlighting the legs today. Okay, bring it down. For those of us that can, we're going to stand up. Those seated, this is your step touch. Those seated, this is your side step. And in a seated position, you can't do the squat and you can't do the hamstring curl, but do what you can today. All right, I'm going to get a drink, and then we're going to start the standing position. All righty, let's march. Heel dig. Use your arms. Abs are tight, always. And rest. Roll. Separate the feet. Step touch. Let's do a bicep curl. Travel. March. Let's bring the hands out to the back and behind a little bit and pulse. For those of us that are standing, we're going to turn to your right. When you're back to center, turn the palms and go up and down like this. Turn full circle left, your left. And march. Separate the feet, step touch, travel. Separate and toe tap. And swing. Remember with a toe tap, you keep your feet out to the side. March. Separate the feet. Let's go into squats. And remember, some of you can get lower than me. And march. Let's do a toe tap behind. Add a punch. Guard your face. And march. Feet, knees together. Side step. And swing. Open up the hands and glide through the air. And roll. Separate the feet, make sure nothing's behind you. Hamstring curl. Kick your butt. Remember, we're not bringing our nose up, excuse me, our knee up to our nose. We are kicking our butt with our foot. Yeah, as if the knee had that range of motion, huh? I think there's just a little bit too much body fat in the back of the leg to keep us from doing that. And roll. And there's nothing wrong with some body fat. That's where your hormones are. Separate, squats. Remember, keep your knees over your feet. With a squat, you're pushing your tush to the back. Not the knees forward. And rest. Heel dig out to the side on an angle. Okay, nothing's behind you. Hamstring curl. Your abdominals are really tight. Get your abs off your clothing. And rest. Woo! Alrighty, hula. Alrighty, last time for standing up quadricep exercise. Squats, push the tush to back. And breathe. And roll. And smile. I need something on my lips. I'll be right back. Alrighty, separate the feet. Step touch. Travel forward and back. Stay in place. Let's do a piano with this. You're going to turn full circle that way. Now, legs together, side step, fist, thumb in and thumb out. You're going to turn that way, full circle. And march. Okay, let's do some traveling. We're going to march. We're going to go to the right, this way, 2. And march. That way, 4. In just a second. 1, 3, 4. Heel dig. March, 4 that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, march. Let's do a toe tap behind. And march. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, march. You're going to turn that way, full circle. Turn that way, full circle. To the center. Forward. And back. Alright, separate and forward. Okay, get your chair, let's sit down for a few. Edge of your seat, leg on that side, which might be your left, I'm not sure, you're right. No, you're left. Anyway, I'll get this stuff straight one of these days. I'm looking at a mirror of myself. Okie doke. So you've got your foot flexed, and you're going to take it out and in. The leg is out and in. So you want to be on the edge of your seat so that your hip joint can work. Bring it back in, bring it down, and point the toes. Other side, out and in. Keep your foot flexed. Bring it back in, point the toes. Okay, that side. Heel dog in. You're going to go out and in and up and down. Now, feel it in your quadriceps. It only gets worse. And bring it down. Point the toes. Okay, other side. Foot is flexed. You're going to go out and in, up and down. Now, alrighty, bring it down. Keep it long and then point the toes. Alrighty, now we're going into what is probably the most painful part of this whole exercise. It's going to really make your quadriceps burn. So we're starting out with this side. Heel is going to be dug into the floor. You're on the edge of your seat. Hang on if you need some support. You're going to bring that leg halfway up and down. Your abdominals are tight. Don't bring it up too high. We're not there yet. Halfway up and down. The foot is flexed so that you feel it right there in the leg. Two, keep it straight, bring it down, and point the toes. Do you feel it lengthen after all of that? Other side, heel dug in, hang on if you have to. Up and down halfway. Remember, this is halfway, no more than half, because we're going there. Don't need to get there any sooner. Abs are tight. smiling. Obviously, your head is above your heart. 2, and bring it down, and point the toes. Other side. This time, leg is straight, foot's flexed. You're going to bring that leg up. Keep the foot flexed. I want you to feel this. And if it really gets bad, just grab a hold of your pant leg and help you bring it up, okay? Woo! Stay upright. How about 4 more? 4, 3, 2. Keep it up there and bring it down straight. Point the toes. We definitely have to stretch out the quadriceps today. So right now you can take your fingers, the thumbs, and massage the top of your leg like that. That will help. All right, the other side. Remember, all the way up, and then halfway down and up and down. There we go. Keep your abs tight. Four, 3, 2, and keep it straight, bring it down, and point the toes. Good job. Now massage it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Loosen it back up. Here we go. Breathe. All right. We're going to bring the knee up and down. One and then the other. Your abdominals are tight. 4, 3, 2. We're going to add a kick to this. Rest. I'm going to get a drink. I will be back. Alrighty. We're going to take the leg that's on this side, which might be your right side, I'm not sure, or your left side, might be your left side. Okay, we're going to lift that leg, we're going to hold it like that, not real tight, we're not stretching that above the knee right now, and just hinge at the ankle. Keep breathing, flex and point. And then bring it down. Other side, not too tight, hinge. Flex and point. Okie doke, I did not forget the gluteus maximus. No. Alrighty. Bring it down. Let's stand up. If you have to use a chair, by all means do. Okay? Okay, the first one we're going to do, I'm going to turn right now and show you what it looks like. You're going to be working the leg that's on that side, and you're going to take that leg behind you like that. Try to keep it as straight as possible. You're going to lift it and squeeze the gluteus maximus and release it. Squeeze and release. Allow your hip to do all the work. Try not to bend the knee. That's what we're going to be doing, okay? Okay, take the leg that's on this side to the back. Keep it straight. You're going to go up and down. Squeeze and release. I tend to squeeze my hands together when I'm squeezing the gluteus maximus and then releasing it. And if you have long fingernails, you want to make sure that you don't dig them into your hand. Your abdominals are rock hard. You're going to bring that leg up now and pulse it. Keep it tight. And then bring it down and roll. Alrighty, other side. So now remember, if you're doing this, it's the leg that's on this side, and it's out to the back like that, and you bring it up and squeeze and release. You want to get that big muscle group and really tighten and release it, okay? Alrighty. I have to make sure I don't pick the curtain back there. Alrighty, legs straight back there. Use your hip joint, and you're going to lift and bring it down. Squeeze and release. Squeeze. Abdominals are off of your clothing, please. And notice I did not say your tummies or your skin. I want the inside to be healthy right now. Tighten them up. Breathe. And then we're going to bring it up and pulse it. Nice and tight. And bring it down and roll. Good job. That's good for me if I can do it without hanging on the chair. Like I said a few weeks ago, my feet are not used to being in shoes. I work out in my basement at least 3 times a week because if I don't, I won't be able to move. And we take our shoes off in the entryway, but for the class I have to set a good example. Alrighty. But then again, you know, you want to make sure that you don't track any kind of stuff into your house that you don't want. So make sure your shoes are clean if you're wearing them in the house. Alrighty. So this time, we're going to work this side. And you're going to, yeah, I know. I'm getting tired. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired. Okay. You're going to turn the leg like that so that you look like a number 4. Okay? And you're going to take it, excuse me, there's something behind me. And you're going to go off on an angle like that, okay? So go off on an angle. Keep that leg bent. You're going on an angle, not to the side. You're working that big muscle group back there. Oh, and then it gets fun. Now, if you want to add a bar element to this, and I mean a B-A-R-R-E, you stand on your toes and do this. It's really nice and intense. We're going to bring it up and pulse it. Keep it tight. And bring it down and roll. Other side. Bend like a 4, and it's going to go on an angle back behind you like that. Abs are tight. Keep your abdominals off your clothing. I lost count. 14 going down. 6, 5. And pulse it. So take it up and pulse. Remember the abdominals are really tight. Keep that leg bent and on an angle. Bring it down and roll. Drink. Alrighty. Breathe comfortably. Let's put the chair on that side. You're going to turn your leg like this. So you're going to be going to the front and out to the side. Inner and outer side. We're almost through. We're going to bring it to the front. We're going to bring it to a pulse. And that leg, I want you to feel it right in there. Lift it up. Breathe. Okay, bring it down and roll. We're almost done. Other side. Okay, make sure you're bracing, and if you need to, maybe focus on the video or focus on the floor. You're going to turn your leg. You're going to go like this. Alrighty, bring it to the front and you're going to pulse it. Turn it. Get the burn right there in the inner thigh. Stand nice and tall. Smile. Okay, bring it down and roll. Okay, let's move the chair out of the way. And march. Forward and back. Stay still. Side step. Travel. And march. When you breathe in, and out. In and out. Okay, feet separated. Step touch. Travel. March. Move away from anything that you might kick. Separate and hamstring. Curl. And march. Separate and squats. Push your tush to the back. Make sure that your legs are far enough apart for good support, but do not take them so far apart that your knees hurt. And make sure your legs are not together. And march. Okay, let's do a behind the legs. And march. This leg is going to go forward and then back. stop and switch it out. And rest. Breathe. Arms up. Okay, gracefully relax and then bring it down. I'm going to change the music. Get your chair and we're going to relax. Get some lipstick. I will be back. Okay, edge of your seat. You want to take the leg that's on this side and bring it up and really nice and tight. Stretch that area on top of the knee. Thank you for joining me today. Now release it and then hinge at the ankle. Breathe deep, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And flex and point. Make sure you're still breathing. I need to hear you breathe. And you are sitting up. Don't lean your back on the chair. And then bring it down. Other side, nice and tight. Okay, release it a little bit and hinge at the ankle. And then flex and point. And then bring it down. Just a reminder, I found out yesterday that some of the folks from the COA are not getting their senior connections, so they don't know what's going on at the COA except for what's in the newspaper. So if you've got friends that were attending our classes at the COA, make sure that you let them know that we are on the COA's Facebook page, but we are also on St. Joseph County COA on YouTube. So St. Joseph County COA at YouTube and here on Facebook. So then that way they can join in. If they don't have a Facebook account, they can go to YouTube and watch our videos. Okay, let's separate the knees and the ankles. You're going to hinge at the hips. Keep your head above your heart and you're going to go down. Nice stretch. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Yes. Keep your head above your heart. Continue to breathe. And then relax. Your head can drop. Continue to breathe. this, bring your head back up, set your hands on your legs, push your pelvic area into the chair and come up. Good job. Let's turn the head side to side, stopping in the center. And then ears to the shoulders. Continue to breathe. Okay, stop. We're going to take the leg that's on this side, which might be your right side. Heel dug into the floor, hang on to the chair. You're going to hinge at your hips again and come forward. Reach for your shoe if you can get there. Make sure that the toes are up toward the ceiling so you get that good stretch. Another thing about watching videos on YouTube or Facebook, on the bottom of the screen there is a line that goes across. You can back up, forward, whatever. You can pause. But there's also a little set of arrows that go on an angle. If you have not done that yet, you can click on that or touch it and it will increase the size of the screen. That's what that's for. And then once you're there, you can always decrease the size. Okay, we're going to release it. Keep the legs straight and point the toes. And then come back. Other side, heel dug into the floor, toes up. Hang on if you have to, hinge at the hips, and come forward. Another thing about that little screen, you can start your audio, and if it's not loud enough, increase the loudness on your device. So if you're on a tablet, you want to make sure that the sound is up, and if you're on a laptop or computer, make sure that your sound is up on that too. And then release it, point the toes and bring it back. Now that's something about those little screens that you need to know about. The other thing is sometimes there's a lapse in time, so you get ripples in what you're seeing, or you get I don't know, just some kind of glitches in there. Sometimes that's the internet provider that the person is doing the video on, or it could be your internet provider coming into your home. So I know Frontier has been having a lot of trouble in the last week and a half, and then with the storm it didn't make it any better. So it might be, if you're having issues like that, that it's just a temporary thing. Okie doke, we have to do the quadriceps. So we're going to do it seated position, and you're going to turn that way. Remember to hang on to your chair because this outside cheek is off the chair. You're going to bring your knee behind you, under your body, preferably like right under your hip, and then you're going to lean back. This is seated position to engage that quadricep. So when you're seated, you lean back. If you're doing this standing, hanging on to your leg back there, that's when you lean forward and pull that leg to the back, and you'll feel it more intense. You can also do this laying on the floor on your side. Make sure your hips are stacked on each other and your feet are like they're standing, they're flexed, and then take that leg back there and hold it. And again, you can take it back a little bit further to make it more intense. Okay, to come out of this, you can lean forward, take that leg forward, and then switch sides. Hang on. One of these times I'm going to have a different chair down here. This is really nice for the height of my knees, but it's not the most comfortable chair. Okay, so you've got the knee under there, and you're going to lean back and grab that quadricep. And yes, you are breathing. Don't hold your breath. Okay, so you're going to come forward and then bring that leg forward and turn around. Okay, now to do the gluteus maximus, we're going to go back in our chair a little bit. Now this is, I think, for most senior citizens, a difficult stretch to do because it's hard to get your leg up there, but do the best that you can. So you're going to assist your leg, and you're going to sit like a man, basically. But what you want to do is you want to have that foot on top of the leg, and then this knee comes down. You can probably feel it already. And if you want to feel your gluteus maximus more, lean forward and continue to breathe. And if you can't do it like I am, you can do this on the ground. You can sit on the floor and just have one leg straight out and then that and lean forward. Oh my goodness. And then lean back, grab a hold of that leg. Oh God. I didn't say it was easy, did I? Alrighty, I prefer to do it on the ground, but you know, some of us are afraid. We get on the ground, are we going to be able to get back up? I've had surgeries before, so I know how it feels. Okay, bring it up, set that one on there like that. Oh, this side's a lot easier. And then once you're sitting there like a guy, lean forward. And you should feel that in the back of the leg, back there. And like I said, if it's difficult to do it this way, you can do it on the ground, or you can do it standing up and lean forward, but you have to have good balance for that. So remember, tell your friends, your neighbors, you can tell anybody in the world about our classes, because if they're a Facebook person, they're going to be able to tune us in. And if they like to go to YouTube and watch cat videos and stuff like that, they'll be able to tune us in there. Okay, lean back, bring that leg up, and then gracefully bring it down. We are just about done. Okay, edge of your seat. Yes. Breathe. Okay, knees are together. You're going to hinge at your hip area. Make sure your abs are in there somewhere. And you're just going to come forward and relax. Okay, bring your head back up to line it up. Set your hands on your legs and assist your body up nice and slow. Let's take the arms behind us and grab onto the chair and lengthen forward. Nice stretch. And then we'll conclude with thoracic. Stretch. Okay, now relax into this and then lean back and release your arms. Shake them out. Let's stand up. Oh yeah. Gravity takes control. Okay, your chair is going to be where it's at. I'm turning mine to show you what I'm doing. So with the thoracic stretch, and this is a good one. It's kind of based on the downward facing dog, and in some arenas that's what they call it. It's a downward facing dog. It can be a plank. But what it's doing is it's going to lengthen parts of your body that really need to be lengthened now. So you're going to take your legs back there like this, and you're going to allow your body to come down like this. My abdominals are tight. If I wanted to do an ab exercise, I'd have you tighten up your tummies and your ab areas really, really tight. Right now we're concentrating on the back of the legs, the gluteus maximus, and the arms. And breathe. So your ears are in between your shoulders. Abs are tight. And now relax. And then gracefully lift the head. And come forward slowly. And then stand nice and tall. And breathe. Up. Relax the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the elbows. Bring the hands into the center. Breathe. Come down. Nod your head up and down like you're nodding to a friend. Okay, until next time, be safe and mindful of your surroundings and your eating habits and your exercise habits, and we'll see you next time.